Have you ever wondered why some habits stick while others fall by the wayside? It's a question that intrigues us all. A question that has been answered brilliantly by James Clear in his game-changing book, Atomic Habits. So, what are atomic habits? They are the minuscule everyday practices that, over time, compound into significant changes. Imagine a tiny snowball rolling down a hill, gathering more snow and momentum as it goes along, eventually becoming a massive snow boulder. That's the power of atomic habits. They might seem insignificant at first glance, but their impact over time can be massive. Now let's talk about the mastermind behind this concept, James Clear. He is not just an author, but a habit formation expert. His work has been influenced by many great thinkers, from Aristotle to Zig Ziglar. And he himself has become an influential figure in the world of self-improvement. Clear's approach is deeply rooted in scientific knowledge, making his strategies practical, actionable, and most importantly, effective. And why should we care about atomic habits? Well, they are the building blocks of remarkable results. Whether it's about achieving success in your career, improving your health, or enhancing your relationships, atomic habits can be your secret weapon. They are the silent architects of our lives, shaping our identity, our destiny, one tiny habit at a time. But it's not just about building good habits. Atomic habits also teach us how to break the bad ones. It's about identifying those sneaky little habits that are holding us back and replacing them with positive ones. It's like pruning a plant, removing the dead leaves to allow the healthy ones to flourish. So, are you ready to dive into the fascinating world of atomic habits? Are you ready to discover how these tiny changes can make a world of difference in your life? Because, my friends, understanding the power of atomic habits can be the key to unlocking your full potential. The first law of atomic habits is to make it obvious. Now, what does that mean, and how does it work? Let's dive in. Imagine you're in a room that's pitch black. You can't see a thing. It's pretty hard to navigate, right? Now imagine if someone switched on the lights. Suddenly, you can see everything clearly. That's what making your habits obvious is like. You're turning on the lights so you can see what you need to do. You see, our brains are wired to take the path of least resistance. We're more likely to do things that are easy and visible. So, if you want to build good habits, you need to make them obvious. For instance, if you want to read more, keep a book on your bedside table. That way, it's the first thing you see when you wake up, and the last thing you see before you sleep. On the flip side, bad habits should be made invisible. If you're trying to cut down on junk food, don't keep it in your house. If it's not there, you can't eat it. Simple, isn't it? Now let's talk about another powerful strategy, habit stacking. It's a concept coined by productivity expert S.J. Scott. Habit stacking means attaching a new habit to an existing one. For instance, if you already have a habit of drinking coffee every morning, you can stack a new habit on top of it. Maybe you could read a chapter of a book while you sip your morning brew. That way, your existing habit serves as a trigger for your new habit. It's like killing two birds with one stone. In essence, the first law of atomic habits is about making your habits so obvious that you'd have to go out of your way not to do them. It's about designing your environment to work for you, not against you. By making your habits obvious, you're setting yourself up for success. Remember, the key to achieving big goals is to start with small, obvious steps. So let's switch on the lights and let's start building those habits. Now on to the second law of atomic habits. Make it attractive. This principle is all about understanding how our minds work. You see, we're wired to seek rewards. The more appealing a reward, the stronger our desire to perform the action that leads to it. This is where making your habits attractive comes into play. Let's dive into the wisdom of Charles Duhigg, the author of The Power of Habit. He explains that every habit is driven by a craving to experience a specific reward. Now, this doesn't mean every reward is a chocolate chip cookie at the end of a long day. Rewards can be as simple as the sense of accomplishment from ticking off a task on your to-do list, or the satisfaction of a clean and organized workspace. But how do we make a habit attractive enough to crave it? Well, it's about linking the habit you want to form to something you already find enjoyable. Think of it as bundling a chore with a treat. For For instance, if you're trying to build a habit of exercising daily, you could make it attractive by pairing it with listening to your favorite podcast or music. Let's take it a step further. Imagine you're trying to eat healthier. Instead of focusing on what you're giving up, say that delicious but greasy pizza, focus on the benefits. Visualize how good you'll feel, how much energy you'll have, and how it will contribute to a healthier, happier you. Remember, the key here is to make the habit so enticing that you're practically drooling to get started. This is about making the process enjoyable, not just the end result. And lastly, don't forget the power of a positive mindset. Believe that you can adopt these habits and see them as attractive. After all, our beliefs often shape our reality. When you make a habit attractive, you're more likely to stick with it. So, the next time you're trying to build a new habit, remember to make it as tantalizing as possible. This isn't just about discipline, it's about desire. And that, my friends, is the second law of atomic habits. The third law of atomic habits is all about simplicity. Make it easy. It's a simple principle, really. The less effort a habit requires, the more likely we are to stick with it. It's not about being lazy, it's about making it so easy that you can't say no. Consider this. What if your gym was a 5-minute walk from your home rather than a 20-minute drive? Wouldn't you be more likely to go? That's what making it easy is all about. By reducing the friction, the effort required to perform the habit, we increase the likelihood of sticking to it. Let's delve deeper into this principle. It's all about reducing the number of steps it takes to perform a habit. If you want to start reading more, don't hide your books in a cupboard. Put them on your coffee table or by your bedside. Reduce the number of steps it takes to start reading. The less effort it takes, the more likely you are to do it. Now, this might sound familiar to some of you. It's a concept drawn from B.J. Fogg's Tiny Habits method. Fogg, a renowned behavior scientist, suggests that the key to habit formation is to start small, so small that it's almost ridiculous. Want to start flossing? Start with just one tooth. Sounds silly, right? But it works. You're far more likely to floss one tooth than to floss them all. And once you've started, well, you might as well finish the job. The idea behind this is to make the habit so easy that you can do it even when you're running on low motivation. On those days when you just don't feel like it, if the habit is easy enough, you'll do it anyway. And that's how habits stick. So, if you're trying to build a new habit or break an old one, ask yourself, how can I make this easier? Can I reduce the number of steps it takes to do this? Can I make it so easy that I can't say no? Remember, the easier a habit is, the more likely you are to stick with it. The fourth and final law of atomic habits is to make it satisfying. Think about it. What is it that keeps us coming back to our habits, both the good and the not so good ones? It's the satisfaction we get, the reward at the end of the action. For habits to stick, they need to be immediately satisfying. This is because our brains are wired to prioritize immediate rewards over long-term ones. Now let's delve into the science of this. In his book Drive, Daniel Pink explains that human motivation is largely influenced by the prospect of reward. We are more likely to repeat an action if we associate it with a positive outcome. This is why we might choose to eat a chocolate chip cookie instead of a salad, despite knowing that the salad is the healthier option. The cookie gives us immediate satisfaction, while the health benefits of the salad are more long-term. So, how can we use this law to our advantage in forming good habits? The key is to find a way to make the benefits of your good habits feel immediate. If you're trying to establish a workout routine, for example, you might reward yourself with a relaxing shower or a few minutes of downtime after each workout. This immediate reward will make the habit more satisfying and therefore more likely to stick. But remember, the reward should align with your habit and your goals. If you're trying to lose weight, rewarding a workout with a high-calorie treat might not be the best choice. Instead, consider non-food rewards like listening to your favorite podcast or buying a new workout outfit. So, to wrap up, making a habit satisfying isn't about indulging in harmful or counterproductive rewards. It's about giving yourself a pat on the back, celebrating your progress, and giving your brain a reason to want to repeat the habit. Making a habit satisfying ensures you'll want to repeat it. So go ahead, make your habits rewarding and watch as they become a natural part of your daily routine. Isn't it fascinating how we can change our lives by changing our habits? Just as we've been exploring the power of atomic habits, there's another small action that can lead to big transformations. That's right, it's as simple as clicking that subscribe button and hitting the notification bell. It's a tiny action, but it opens up a world of knowledge and inspiration. Just like a single atomic habit can spark a chain reaction of positive change. With each video we share, we delve into the wisdom of the world's most influential thinkers, breaking down complex ideas into bite-sized, understandable pieces. Just imagine, a simple click today can lead to a wealth of knowledge and inspiration tomorrow. So why not take that small step? It's an easy and satisfying action, just like those atomic habits we've been talking about. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's embark on this journey of self-improvement together. Join our community and let's grow together. As we wrap up, it's important to remember that habits are the building blocks of our lives. We've journeyed together through the landscape of atomic habits, understanding the profound impact they can have on our lives. The beauty of this concept lies in its simplicity, yet the power it holds is immense. We began with the first law, making it obvious. This is our initial step, the conscious recognition of the habits we want to form. It's about clarity, about knowing exactly what we want to achieve, and carving out a path that leads us there. Then came the second law, making it attractive. This law is about attaching a positive and desirable outcome to our habits, making them something we look forward to rather than dread. It's about turning the mundane into the attractive, the necessary into the desirable. Next was the third law, making it easy. This law is all about removing friction, about making the path to our habits as smooth as possible. It's about removing the hurdles, eliminating the obstacles, and making the journey towards our habits a walk in the park. Finally, the fourth law, making it satisfying. This is about instant gratification, about rewarding ourselves immediately after we've carried out our habit. It's about making the process enjoyable, about creating a sense of satisfaction that keeps us coming back for more. These four laws form the building blocks of atomic habits. They are the pathway towards creating meaningful, long-lasting changes in our lives. But remember, the journey towards forming atomic habits is not about overnight success. It's about consistency, about showing up day after day, about taking small steps towards a larger goal. In the words of Aristotle, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Start building your atomic habits today. The power to change your life, to create the future you desire, rests in your hands. It's about time we start harnessing the potential of our habits. After all, we are creatures of habit. Let's make them count.